So do a call to order. For the Board of Trustees meeting Thursday, November 14th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. The attendance sheet circulating around. And as that's circulating around, we'll stand for a pledge of allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The attendance sheet is working its way around. Right now, I'd like us to go into executive session for a personnel matter. And it'll be no longer than 30 minutes, maybe shorter. So we'll go into executive session. We'll resume. Gonna resume the meeting at 7:56. Okay. Approval of minutes. Has everyone looked at the October 10th minutes?
Yes.
Any questions or comments from the October 10th minutes? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the October 10th minutes as presented by Rihanna Nevin. Can I get a second?
I'll take it.
So moved. WLS report, David Menner.
Yeah.
Dr. David.
You call me Dave, it's fine.
All right.
All right, so the Budget Committee for the Board of Trustees met 3 times from September through October to arrive at a budget proposal for the 2025 fiscal year, focusing on employee compensation, information technology, outreach, delivery, cataloging, fundraising, and administrative departments. The budget will be formally voted by the board next week during our November 19th meeting. Revenue sources are estimated to be approximately for 2025, $7.357 million, 39% from New York State, 38% from member libraries, 18% from the Westchester County, and about 5% from other sources. And supported activities are estimated to be at the following: 58% of the budget for member library services, 24% for direct patron services, 16% for administration, and 2% from other sources. As you guys are probably aware, WLS is moving through the process of changing to a new cloud-based interlibrary loan management software from Iliad to PASA, I think it's pronounced. Newer cloud-based alternative that should hopefully improve automation and reporting. Any questions?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Move on to the president's report. We have one resolution for the strategic plan, and I'll read it. Whereas the New Rochelle Public Library Board of Trustees adopted a 2022-2026 5-year strategic plan in 2021, and whereas there were delays with implementations to the strategic plan due to various COVID-19 restrictions, and whereas the library has hired a new director who began in October 2024 with low time to begin further implementation of the strategic plan, I move that the NRPL Board of Trustees extend the existing strategic plan 2 years to conclude in 2028, so that the board and the director can implement more of the plan for the betterment of the community and the library. I get a second to that motion.
I'll second.
All right. Moved in second and approved. Okay. Thank you. Oh, all those in favor? I'm sorry. Aye. Yes. Any opposed? Sorry about that. All right. That's it for the president's report. Director's report.
So moving forward, we are going to be using a shared drive with the trustees in order to disseminate board meeting materials prior to the board meeting. This was the first time that we've done it, and it included all items such as the director's report, bank reconciliations from the school district treasurer, individual department reports, statistical reports, all of that was found in the folder. So there was some confusion about accessing the folder, and so I'm going to highlight just a few things, small things in my report. So I did complete my first 30 days at the library. And so sometimes it feels like it's my first day. Other days it feels like I've been here 30 years. But I submitted a written report for the Board of Trustees to review, and we will be continuing to discuss it as we move through 30, 60, and 90-day planning for the director position at the library and for the library's goals. I had quite a bit of outreach within the community, and I'm continuing to build those relationships. I've been growing and continuing to meet with staff and attend different staff meetings. I've also been meeting with every direct report every week. And I'm starting to shadow at various service desks to see the points of service and to meet our patrons as well. Gone through a facility overview, an overview of programs and services, a very deep dive with the finance committee in budget and financial practices, policies and procedures. I'm looking forward to the next steps and to continuing to learn this wonderful library and this wonderful community. So I'm open it up to any questions.
No questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move right along to committee reports. Budget committee, Rhiannon.
Yep, we don't really have anything to report right now. As a budget committee, we're going to start meeting towards the end of the year or right in the new year to start planning the budget process in advance of the public vote in May. So more to come.
All right, great. Thank you. Building and Grounds Committee, which I'm the chair of, we did meet October 30th. I will go through top line topics. We discussed infrastructure assessment and planning. We highlight the urgent need for facility use plan and major repairs, knowing the building's outdated infrastructure from the 1970s. Repairs may be necessary. I feel like the library as an overall envelope is functioning fairly well, not optimally, but we think there's some priorities to do some assessment and see which repairs are crucial financially and also time-wise, how long those repairs will take. And that was coming from Eugenia, prioritizing a plan, deciding the importance of financial planning and address the building's infrastructure issues. Also, we discussed public engagement and also referring to the strategic plan that we did back in 2020, just to see what the public initial response was, as well as Eugenia going out to talk to a couple of stakeholders just to reassess what we did previously. One of the biggest things that came out, which I think was pretty good, Eugenia recommended a facility usage study, which we're going to look at. Just figuring out, are we maximizing the total usage of the library to its best capacity? We touched on the purchasing policy and how we look at the purchasing policy when it comes to purchasing things within the library, and also what the financial procedures are when making those purchases. We reviewed the grant updates and project discussions, updating on several grants, highlighting the completion of the Fire Stop grant and the ongoing work on sound baffle panels. Preparing to review proposals for the Huguenot bathroom project. RFP bids are due by November 15th. Additionally, 2 earmark grants totaling $175,000 for the South Entrance Improvement Project but no progress has been made on it. That's the updates on grants and ongoing projects. We have a couple of action items, which is determine the next steps for earmarked funds for the South Entrance Improvement Project. Conduct a thorough accounting and review of the finances related to past projects within the library, buildings and grounds part. Meet with school district and finance committee to discuss financial planning. Once again, identifying your level of existing data from previous surveys for public engagement. I sent over some documents on public works. So we'll review that data and Eugene will follow up on whatever data we have. These are just our action items. Public Library will also review and update the purchasing policy to ensure compliance with New York State guidelines. And that is a report for buildings and grounds. Thank you. Okay, next, community relations. Yes.
The community relations report is now included in the director's report.
Yes.
And so we will be meeting this coming week, but have nothing to report.
Thank you. Finance report here.
Okay, the Finance Committee met on October 31st, and we discussed the status of the New Rochelle Public Library Treasury function, which is now carried out by the City of New Rochelle School District Treasurer. In follow-up, Eugenia is meeting with the school board treasurer, and the purpose of the meeting is to determine the current and potential future role of the school district treasurer. In addition, the committee agreed to draft a job description which outlines the requirements for the treasurer of the library. We also discussed the need to review independent audits of the library and discuss the need for more detailed financial reports to be received by the Board of Trustees on a monthly basis.
Thank you, Vera. Personnel committee. Oh, yes. I'm sitting in for Lucille on the personnel committee. There is one resolution. All right. There's one resolution for the personnel committee, resolution number 2024-1114-3, dated November 14th, 2024. Personnel report, new hire. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the New Rochelle Public Library hereby amends its proceedings and ratifies that the board accept the hiring of the following employee: full-time librarian 1, James Welch, annual salary $61,679, start date October 16th, 2024. A motion is made to accept a new employee. Motion made by myself. And I get a second. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There you go. All right, so resolution's been accepted. Thank you. That is it for the personnel committee. Policy committee.
Yes. Hi, thank you, Corey. So the policy committee held two meetings, one on October the 22nd and the second on November the 7th. The policy committee is continuing to review its current policies and identifying additional policy needs for the library. The committee discussed the prioritization of policy review, the creation, and the process for review of said policies. During the October 22nd meeting, we discussed the broader classification of policies, including the financial, regulatory, operational, and bylaws. The committee determined that we will utilize a two-track system, one that allows us to be responsive to the immediate needs, and a longer-term track for monitoring the policies. Director Shatoff requested that the committee review the following financial policies and identify if they should be updated or developed. These policies include our cash handling, budget, capital fund, investment, expense management, audit, financial reporting, procurement, reserve fund, etc. Director Shatoff also requested that we review policies, including the whistleblower policy, due to updates to legislation, the payroll and timesheet, safety training, hiring, and a larger professional development policy. During the November 7th meeting, the committee reviewed the credit card policy, children's room policy, and sexual harassment policy. The committee updated the New Rochelle Public Library policy regarding adults in the children's room and the Huguenot Children's Library. The updated policy was shared with the board prior to this evening's board meeting and will be presented for adoption following this report. Our next meeting date will be announced shortly. And a point of clarification, should I then make our motion now, or is that for new business? Can I do that now?
You can do it now.
Okay, thank you. So the policy committee proposes that the board vote to approve the following. Shall I read the policy?
Yeah.
It's short. The New Rochelle Public Library Children's Room and Huguenot Children's Library, including their technology and restrooms, are intended solely for children ages 0 to 12 years and their caregivers. Adults and teenagers are only allowed in the children's area and HCL when they are accompanying a child or actively assessing the collections in these areas. The library reserves the right to ask adults and teens to move to other areas of the building or to leave the library if they are not assisting children or not accessing children's material in order to assist children in their care, or if they're in violation of the library's code of conduct policy. And a reference is hyperlinked, which is the code of conduct policy, the 2017 policy. So I would like to make a motion for the Board of Trustees to approve the New Rochelle Public Library policy regarding adults in children's room, in the children's room, and the Huguenot Children's Library. May I have a second on the policy?
Second.
Or, sorry, are there any
I'll s-
questions? Should I have said that?
Yeah. I'll second.
A second? Okay, thank you. All in favor? Aye. And any opposed? I'd also like to thank the trustees for sharing questions to the policy before, and I'm hoping everything was addressed. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Special projects, Tatiana.
Nothing to report.
Okay, great. Jessica, was there any public discussion? No public discussion. Well, it is 8:14 and I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. And second,
I'll second it.
I'll stay.
all right. Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So concluded. Thank you all. Have a good day. Evening.